explosion was heard from the mountain. All the residents and the Count looked in surprise. Black smoke was rising up. The protagonist and the knight were standing next to a giant snake that was producing volcanic dust. Lloyd covered his ears and looked up in surprise. He used the skill and saw that it was indeed volcanic ash. The youth smiled widely and demanded that the swordsman praise him. The blonde looked at the master questioningly and asked again. The brown-haired man apologized for forgetting to warn him to cover his ears. He shouted that Xavier was scary. The knight replied that he was not as fast as the young lord, and then pretended not to hear again. Thanks to Belle, the cement problem was quickly solved. The nobleman moved forward, saying that in the construction world, speed is life, so it was time to begin. The swordsman followed, shaking off the dust. First, they equipped Belle with a giant diaper to filter out the ash. A 5-layer sieve was attached to the other side. The hero covered his ears and shouted for the little animal to begin. Volcanic eruption skill activated. The Count and his subjects watched with their ears covered. The man looked at the young man carefully and thought that this was beyond his understanding. Starting with skills the feudal lord had never heard of, ending with their spell. He must find out everything and then report to the king in detail. Lloyd smiled and hugged the snake. The Count decided that if his talent was really as great as they said, it would be sad to waste it somewhere on the outskirts of life. Once the materials for the cement were collected, it was time for step 2. Build a caisson into which the cement would be poured. Next, the well was installed and water was pumped out of it thanks to the hippo skill. Step 3. Xavier swung the sledgehammer and struck, driving the friction struts into the ocean floor inside the well. The knight looked at the lord and asked when the next shipment would arrive. The youth replied that they would have to wait, as delivery took time. He stared at the assistant. The swordsman turned and asked what that expression was. Lloyd shrugged and replied that he was waiting for the boy to say that a knight should not do such things. The interlocutor remained silent. The blonde turned away and said that he was a knight and why he had to hammer. The nobleman raised his eyebrows and said that Xavier was in his retinue, and if he did not hammer, the hero would not